Hi everyone, for today's video I am sitting down to do a little Q&A. I decided I should probably get ready while I do this because I have a couple of other videos I want to film today, but it has been so long since I filmed a Q&A. The last time I did any sort of Q&A was on my Instagram, and that was over the summer, so like it's been a long time. I haven't done one since I moved in, and I haven't done one since I've gotten my job teaching. So yeah, a lot has changed in my life. You guys asked me some really good questions. So the first question I got is, what little things am I grateful for this year? And I feel like this year I have like a lot of things to be grateful for, honestly. I am able to support myself, and you know, I moved out with my boyfriend this year and that's been awesome. So that's something I'm super grateful for, that I was able to do that this year of all years. Also that my boyfriend and I had the opportunity to move out, you know, where we are. We live super close to both of our families, which is also another thing that I'm grateful for this year, especially this year, or I guess last year at this point. But being able to live so close to my parents, you know, with everything going on, that's been awesome. But I don't know, I don't really know how to categorize little things, because everything that I'm thinking about is like, I'm super thankful for Wilma. I'm so thankful for the job that I have, which doesn't seem like a little thing, but I don't know. I'm just so thankful for everything really in my life right now. There's not really anything in my life right now that is causing a bunch of negativity, and honestly, that's something that I'm super grateful for. So yeah, I have a lot of things that I've been grateful for lately. So I got a couple of questions like this of people wondering if I am going to stick with beauty or if I'm going to continue teaching after this school year. And that is a great question. It's a question that I've been asking myself a lot recently. You know, even though it is January, the end of the school year is coming up. And if you guys didn't already know this, I think some of you guys are new, but this year I took up a homeschooling job. I work for this family with two girls. They have 3 children, but they have 2 school-aged children, one in kindergarten and one in 2nd grade, and I absolutely adore my job. It is so great. Basically, I'm their teacher, but we're doing homeschooling, and it is kind of a big job. I'm pretty much doing it all by myself. I do all my lesson planning on my own. I figure out all the activities that we're doing, but it is super rewarding and very stimulating. So I do really like that about the job. And because the end of the school year is coming up, it's kind of making me sad, but also kind of excited at the same time, because I have had to put YouTube kind of like on the back burner a little bit, especially the last few months with me moving out and then starting a new job as well. YouTube has definitely not been on like the top of my list of priorities. So I really don't know, to be honest. I am going to be saving quite a bit of money these next few months. And if any of you guys want to save with me, I'm basically saving money every Friday. And this past Friday, which was the 1st, I saved $200, and then next Friday I'll save $300, and then next Friday I'll save $200, and then $300, and then $200. You guys get it, but I am going to be doing that until May, or like the end of May. I'm hoping to save enough money where I don't have to worry about working over the summer, and I can just kind of get back into the swing of things with YouTube, and then honestly kind of have a summer break, and then take that time to figure out what I want to do, because I know that I could go back to Ulta, which is where I was working before. However, I do really like what I'm doing right now, and I do have a degree in education, so I could continue doing things like with this degree and kind of continue doing things like the homeschooling. I really don't see myself ever being a school teacher. I really like the idea of kind of working for myself and working on my own, not having to worry about like multiple parents or administration or honestly other teachers. However, sometimes I do wish I had like a team dynamic, like a team planning kind of thing, because sometimes it really is like lonely doing this all by myself. But I originally found this job through care.com, so I kind of feel like I might, you know, search again for another job similar to this, or maybe even a nannying job a few times a week. I would also enjoy tutoring, so I might even look into doing that, see if I can fill my book with just tutoring jobs and then do YouTube. and kind of see how that goes. But yeah, I'm not entirely sure. I think, you know, beauty will always be a part of my life because I do have my YouTube channel and I love makeup. But yeah, I don't know if I'm going to continue teaching or if I'm going to go back to Ulta. I'm really not sure at the moment. Someone asked what my ultimate life goal is, and I don't know. I feel like it's like a little hard to just have like one ultimate goal, but I guess I would really honestly say that I just want to end up being like happy, just happy with the choices that I made, happy with, you know, the family that I hopefully create one day. Also having the people around me be happy and healthy. I guess that like would be my ultimate goal, because at the end of the day, none of the other things matter if you're not happy or you're surrounded by people who aren't happy. So the next question I got was, do you see yourself being married in the near future? So I do have a boyfriend, and his name is Justin, if you didn't know. We've been together, this coming up March will be 2 years that we've been together. And we're also both 24, and we do have some friends who are like engaged right now, or they are going to be married. Like a few people from our graduating class have gotten married and stuff, so you know, that's happening in people's lives that are our age. I don't know. I definitely hope that like we get married, that it ends up being Justin and I getting married. As of anything happening right now or like in the near future, definitely not right now, definitely not this year. Probably not even next year, but I think that is something that I would want, you know, before I'm 30 maybe. Definitely something that I'm hoping happens, but not in the super near future. Like there's definitely things that I want to do and that we want to do as a couple together. I told Justin this like several months ago, kind of a long time ago, but one of the things that I want to do definitely before we get married is to travel, and that's just like something that's not super possible right now or like in the near future. So yeah, definitely want to like experience those things with him, maybe even move out. Like we'll definitely move out on our own. We do have a roommate right now, but definitely like living together on our own, traveling. I want to do those things before we get married. Not anytime super soon, but hopefully it is in our future. So someone asked what my plans were for this year, and my plans are to just really take it day by day. Like I was saying earlier, my job ends at the end of May. So yeah, definitely taking that day by day and just, you know, pushing through, making sure that I'm working hard, making sure that the girls are learning and being supported. And after that, I plan on chilling for the summer, pumping out some YouTube videos, having fun, and then hopefully by that point I'll know a little bit more about like what I want to do. It's so hard. I'm 24 and I still don't really know what I want to do with my life, but I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to say about that. Maybe by this year I'll have that figured out a little bit. The next question says, what was my favorite thing that I did over break? And if you guys didn't know, I'm on my winter break right now. The girls' parents gave me like a week and a half off. Just been relaxing and getting lots of things done. But probably my favorite thing that I did over break was just hang out with my family. I loved that we were able to all be together. And it was nice having it just be the 5 of us, because Justin was with his family, Allie's boyfriend was with his family, and we just got to be with our family, and that was just super nice. Oh my gosh, another favorite part of break though was watching Ted Lasso. That show is so good. It is so good and so cute. I actually ended up watching it twice. I watched it like all the way through with my family, and then literally like not even 24 hours later I watched it all the way through a second time with Justin, because I was like, Justin needs to see this show. So yeah, Ted Lasso was so good. That was definitely a highlight of my winter break. Totally recommend watching it if you guys haven't already. I think it's on Apple TV, but it might be, I think it is on Apple TV because it's an Apple TV show, but it's so good. Like if you can watch it, I really, really recommend it. It's such a feel-good, funny, like lovely show. Ted Lasso is a lovely man. So the next question says, do you use a lot of the skills that you learned in college to teach the kids? So Yes and no. I spent honestly the majority of college knowing that I wasn't going to be a teacher. I spent a lot of years, you know, being sour about being in college, getting my elementary education degree. And I've definitely talked about that in my videos before, especially around the time where I was graduating and already graduated, like at the very beginning. But yeah, here I am, being a teacher, obviously doing it in a pretty unconventional way. I probably wouldn't have looked for something like this if it wasn't for COVID, and this job simply fell in my lap. Like, it was the best situation that I could have dreamed. It's pretty much the only way that I would have been like super happy using my degree. So it's super amazing that I found this job and that I love it. But I don't know, I spent a lot of time in college thinking that it was kind of BS that I was spending the majority of the time sitting inside these like college classrooms when most of the learning that I ever did truly took place inside of a real elementary school classroom. And that's pretty much where I built most of my skills that I do use. Sitting here, I really can't think of anything that I learned in college that has helped me with my job right now. What has truly helped me is my experience from last year when I did my internship in a second grade class. That has helped me seriously the most, especially with planning. I can look back at like my notes from that semester and see exactly what like the second graders were doing at that point and what I need to look for in the second grader that I'm teaching for like where she should be reading wise and in math and all that kind of stuff. That is truly what has helped me the most. So that's really the only piece of like my college education that I use for my job now. And then other than that, I am truly just Googling everything all day, every day. The next question asks, what have I noticed about Justin since moving in together? I don't know. There wasn't like a whole lot I didn't know about him before we moved in together. So it's not like I've been really like caught by surprise by anything that he's done. I don't know, I guess I've realized more that he's truly like one of the hardest workers that I've ever met. He is such a hard worker that it's like almost envious that he can truly like sit down and learn something on his own. That's something that's like kind of difficult for me to do, and probably like a lot of people, but he is super, super disciplined, which is kind of cool and like kind of inspiring to see. And like that's something that I've pretty much known about him for a really long time, but it's totally different like actually seeing it. So yeah, that's something that I realized about Justin that I would not have realized if we weren't living together, I guess. But yeah, other than that, I really was not like caught by surprise by anything. I pretty much knew what I was getting myself into, I guess, moving in with him. And yeah, it's been great and like super easy. And he's a great dog dad to Wilma, which is, you know, all I could ask for, really. Yeah, someone else asked if I see myself continuing private tutoring, and I think that's probably what I see myself continuing to do. Right now, I'm pretty much a teacher. Like Monday through Friday, I go into their home and teach these girls. But moving forward, I probably, I don't know, I would want to do something like this again, maybe in like a little pod situation where I have more than 2 of them. But I think moving forward, for right now at least, I would like to do tutoring sessions where I'm just kind of like with one kid for a couple hours. We, you know, work through some problems, do some reading, figure some things out, and then that's that. And you know, I might do that a couple times a week. I might do that with a couple of different children or students. But yeah, I kind of do see myself continuing that. I do really enjoy it. And especially with the amount of resources that I have and that I created this year, I probably should put them to use, you know? The next question I got was any goals that I have for this year. I don't know, I do have a YouTube subscriber goal that I'm not going to share because I would like to keep that to myself. And I would also like to maybe push myself to be a little bit more active on Instagram. So if you aren't already following me on Instagram, definitely go ahead and do that. It's just my name, Chessie Domrongchai. I would like to do that, maybe doing some reels and IGTVs. I would also like to push myself to learn more editing techniques and just get better at editing. I feel like I am good at like doing the basic stuff, and I'm not going to be like, I don't know, I'm not going to be editing to be like funny or dramatic. I just think it would be nice to maybe do more thoughtful edits, like adding more text into the videos, maybe get more into B-roll footage of like products that I'm using and swatches. So just be a better video editor and videographer all together, I think might be a goal of mine. And I guess I do have some money goals as well. Like I was saying earlier, I definitely want to save a decent amount of money by the end of May so that I can have a comfortable summer. But yeah, I guess I do have some money goals and stuff like that. And I am someone who likes to make goals for New Year's. I know some people don't like to do that, and they like to say that they don't like to do it. But I don't know, no shame in like goal making any time of the year, and if New Year's is an excuse to do that, then, you know, cool. The next question I got was any moving out tips and tips on adjusting, coming from someone who like is very family oriented and was so scared and like sad to be moving out of my parents' house. And that was really hard, especially that first month, and like honestly leading up to it too. It was so hard, and it was even hard like talking on the phone with my mom, even though we literally live 10 minutes away from each other. It was like, I'm pathetic, but like talking to my mom, I would like get that swelling of the throat, about to cry. And even like when I would go to visit the first like month I moved out, even when I would go home to visit, when I would leave, I would cry. Yeah, I'm just super emotional, very attached to my family, very attached to my parents, especially my mom. And even though we were living literally so close, I was still like super emotional about it. But I will say Justin and I both have made a pretty good job about like making this place our home and making it feel like home. And it does, to me, feel like home now, which is something that I didn't think was going to come super easy, but honestly it has. So some of the tips that I would have would be kind of to force yourself to make your new space into your home, to really make yourself feel like it is your home. I also talk to my mom almost every day, especially when I'm working. I will call her on my way to work and we will talk for like the 20 minutes that I'm driving to work. But yeah, I kind of just think that it is something that you have to just go ahead and do and like rip it off like a band-aid, because it is going to happen, you know, whether you like it or not, whether I liked it or not. It was something that was going to happen eventually. And I don't know, it feels good now, it feels fine. I do like having my house and my space, and I love living with Justin, and I love, you know, living with Wilma also, like our little trio. I love it. So yeah, I think that it's very natural for a lot of people to, you know, be very nervous and anxious about moving out, but you will get through it, I promise. The next question is anything new that isn't beauty related that you've been loving. And Justin, for my birthday, got me a new laptop. So I guess you can say that I've been loving this. I before was using a 2015 MacBook, and that was the laptop that I got for college. It was my high school graduation gift, and yeah, I've been using it. It's running Final Cut Pro on a 5-year-old laptop is kind of a struggle. It's very slow, very loud, freezes a lot. These video files are huge. This laptop literally takes Final Cut Pro like a champ. I love it so much. I guess it's the newest MacBook, the one with the new Mac chip. I'm not like super informed on it, but it's all new and it works amazing and I love it so much. So yeah, that is something not beauty related that I have been loving. Where is the first country you'd like to travel to after coronavirus fades. Any country that will take me and that I can afford to go to and that Justin would like to go to as well. I would really love for the next time that I get to travel that I get to do it with Justin. And I don't know where we would end up going. I guess it would just depend on how long we had to travel and what we could afford to do, but really anywhere. There's a lot of places that I've never been before. I would really love to travel somewhere where like the dream would be to be able to go somewhere for like 2 weeks and within that 2 weeks like travel to other places, because it's so much easier to travel when you are outside of the US. So yeah, maybe Europe. Europe is an easy place to travel. I think it also would be really cool. I know Justin would really want to do this too, but Japan. And the dream, you know, the dream vacation there would be to go to New Zealand to see Courtney, who actually asked the question, but to go to New Zealand, see Courtney and Jordan, Jordan is Courtney's boyfriend. So the 4 of us could all be hanging out in New Zealand, and then we could travel to Japan, and that would be so cool. So yeah, that would be another really cool traveling experience that I would like to do. But I don't know, I really don't know what like the next country I'm going to go to would be, but I guess, you know, I guess we'll have to see. We'll have to see if I could even do that this year. Who knows? I got a lot of questions on my New Year's resolutions, which, yeah, I just kind of like taking things day by day. I have some goals for my YouTube channel. I have some goals for, you know, money, personal growth, learning. Oh, another big goal that I want is to read more. I really, really freaking want to read more. I barely read this year. I think I read like a few good books, especially over the summer, but I really did not read this year. And I used to be a really, really big reader when I was in school, but I just really got out of it. And I love reading like fiction mystery books, thrillers, all of that. If you guys have recommendations, leave them down below. I am currently reading Big Little Lies because I want to watch the show. And I just figured like, ooh, might as well read the book because I really want to get into reading. And so far, so good. But considering you guys asked me a ton of questions on my 2021 goals and intentions and New Year's resolutions and all that stuff, I did want to show this new planner that I picked up. I am using a Plum paper planner right now for basically all of my planning needs. But I wanted to pick this up because I do watch Kendall Rae. I am a pretty big Kendall Rae fan. I watch her YouTube videos and I listen to her podcast with her husband Josh, but she recently collabed with this brand called Magic of Eye, and these notebooks are stunning. I got this notebook and then this planner and then this notebook. This notebook is just lined. I wish that they had a dotted version because I'm a big dotted, you know, notebook person. But yeah, it's lined. It's gorgeous. How pretty is that? And then I got the planner, but the cool thing about this planner is it gives you like the moon phases and all these astrology things, which is something I actually want to get into this year just to learn more about it. I'm not sure if I'm going to like base my decisions on astrology, but I just want to be in the know. I want to be able to, know what's up about astrology. But anyway, the book is super cool because it has this place where you can put your intentions for the year, and it just has areas of your life where you can write your intentions and what you would like it to look like and what these steps are. So there's like one for work, there's one for love, one for money, one for social stuff, physical, inspiration, spiritual, mental, all this kind of stuff in this notebook. It is so cool. I really want to fill this notebook out, and then I'm not sure how I'm going to use it for planning. I might use it for like my YouTube planning, which, might be helpful for me. But oh my god, these are gorgeous. I will go ahead and leave these notebooks down below. Next question says, most important things you've learned due to moving out / having more independence. And I'd say that I have a new appreciation for my mom. I've always appreciated her. I've always known that she's done so much for me, but moving out has truly made me realize like how much of a superwoman my mother is. Like, she is seriously amazing, and she, like, the things that I didn't realize that she was having to do on a daily basis, wow, like she is truly amazing, and I just have a totally new appreciation for her. I grew up obviously appreciating my mom and loving her to death and her being like my number one. Wow, like I appreciate literally so much that she did for me, did for us, did for our family. She's amazing. Someone asked, as you mentioned once, your dad is Thai and Indian. Would you ever like to travel to India? Yeah, I would love to travel to India. I also would really like to travel to Thailand. My dad and my dad's family, so my family on my dad's side, do mainly identify as being Thai. So I do have a lot of family and relatives that live in Thailand, and I would love to go to Thailand. But yeah, I absolutely would like to go to India as well. I really just want to travel literally anywhere, but yes, 110% yes, I would want to travel to India. The last question I'm going to answer is probably the best question that I got, and that is, what are the best and worst things about being a beauty YouTuber? And the list of the best things definitely outweighs the worst things, but there are definitely some things about being on YouTube that are really difficult for me. But I'll start with the best things. The best things truly are comments. I love reading your comments and responding to you guys and being able to communicate about makeup, which is what I love. So yeah, I love that. That's amazing. And the community that I've built, amazing. I love it. I love talking to you guys on Instagram and talking with you guys through my comment section on YouTube. Just all of it. I really love that. I also love that it is sort of a creative outlet for me. Like, I spend all these hours filming, which means I am not looking at my phone. I'm not looking at my computer. I am focused on doing my thing, filming, and then same thing goes for editing. I also really like editing, especially on my new laptop, but I really like editing, and I like it because it is a way for me to also get creative a little bit and also be like honed into an activity that doesn't require me to be on my phone and looking at other things and all that. So I really like that about YouTube. I also really appreciate the relationships that I've built with other beauty YouTubers, so that's awesome as well. And I'm really not like the most social ever, but yeah, I really like having these like kind of online relationships. It's very nice for me. But then the worst thing, along with comments being the best thing, they can also be the worst. If I get a mean comment, even if it's a comment criticizing me with like no construction, it hurts. I hate it. On my last video, I got comments about my lighting, which I already knew that my lighting was trash. But it really hurt me and it really bothered me like all day, to the point where like I almost cried and I was about to take the video down. So that's really tough. You really have to have thick skin to read these comments about you that can sometimes be super mean and super rude. People love talking about my voice. They love saying that I'm annoying. They love it. People like to be mean. People like to be rude. You really have to have thick skin. And then in addition to that is really just the thought of people having opinions on you based on like a 20-minute video that they see. That's kind of tough for me to deal with, and it was kind of tough for me to come to terms with that like people are just going to have these opinions about me, especially because I do like to scroll through the Beauty Guru chatter page, and I've sometimes been shared on that page, and it's like gut-wrenching if someone has something like not nice to say, which has only happened like one time, but oh my god, that was like the worst because this person was like spreading lies about me. It was really tough. So yeah, being on YouTube, whether it's like being a beauty YouTuber or not, anything, any type of social media where you are like a content creator with a following, is really difficult and really hard on your mental health. So it's just really important to have like a good support system and thick skin, which I hate to say because I really just think people need to not be mean, but here we are, people are gonna be bullies. So yeah, I'm really happy that I have the support system that I do, and even though once in a while I will get a mean comment, I still sleep through the night and it doesn't kill me. But yeah, those are all the questions that I'm going to be answering in today's Q&A. If you guys have any other questions, you can leave them down below, and maybe I'll do another Q&A a bit sooner than I waited this last time. But yeah, again, all the products that I used will be listed down below along with a link to my Instagram, so please follow me. I really want to be more active on Instagram this year, so yeah, follow me and hold me accountable. But that is going to be it for me today. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope that you guys enjoyed today's video. If you aren't already subscribed, definitely go ahead and do so, and hopefully I see you next time.